Good.
Hi. You've been high?
No, I'm saying hi.
Had the right day
Like
for
3
it.
weeks straight.
That day did happen, yes.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time.
I got the reference, but I have no idea what the rest of the words are.
Gonna be as high as a kite till then.
All right. So, who all remembers what we did last time, guys?
We caused mischief and mayhem, but only indirectly,
Did.
mostly.
Hells yes, you did. I mean, you never know. I could be telling the truth, and there could be nothing in this forest that wants to kill you.
He says with a Cheshire grin.
No. It doesn't want to kill you. It just wants to maim you. There's a difference.
I don't know, maybe he said it at a killing joke.
Womp womp.
No comment. All right, but yeah, last time was entirely the party instead of Fort, right? If I am remembering correctly.
Yep, partying and getting on the water baron's good side, and then heading off onto the river.
Yes, on the wonderful Fanny.
Let us
Yes, it
not
is.
forget the party pile up.
Sorry?
The party pile up, Sleet Storm.
Ah, yes.
Yes. You generally caused mischief. You stole some shit from Lord Dryland.
No, we gathered valuable intel.
Yes. Valuable encrypted intel, yes.
Valuable as in money.
True.
Well,
No, that was just to help us. He was donating to the cause and just didn't know it.
That's the spirit. But yeah. You stole from him. You had some fun at the party. You caused a scene after the party in combination with Jane. And now you are leaving aboard the wonderful Fanny.
Oh, on a day's work.
Yes.
All things considered, that was a pretty good day, but yes.
All right. So, your journey down the river on the wonderful Fanny begins nice and early. You all, I believe, hired on as guards and or performers for the trip. I
Yep.
believe. Because in that case, they were paying you. So you spend a lot of time watching the shore go by. Nothing comes out of the water to attack you. Nothing starts lobbing rocks at you from the banks. It's mostly just a quiet trip down the Desireen River. At one point, you stop off in Nonar's Hold, to deliver supplies there. I believe you all, I can't remember actually. I don't think anybody wanted to get off, but I don't remember.
I don't recall wanting to stop either, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the boat stops in Nonar's Hold for a day. While you're there, you don't see very much of the locals, but it seems relatively relaxed here. The undead haven't made it that far. And it's primarily a hunting town, so everybody can take care of themselves. But one day later, you depart Nonar's Hold and continue down the river into the High Forest towards Shadowtop Cathedral. The High Forest is, well, it is bloody enormous. It is the oldest and biggest forest in the world. And as soon as you enter, it gets a little bit dimmer from all the trees blocking everything out. And you can almost feel the weight of the age of the trees in here as you go deeper and deeper in, as they grow tall around you. Eventually you come to a stop. Right next to there's a small little pier for the ship to dock at. But besides that, there's nothing remarkable about the spot where you're stopping that you can see anyways. There's just a single path leading deeper on into the forest. So when you arrive, a single elf steps out from behind a couple of the trees around here. He comes towards you and introduces himself. Hi, I'm Den. Nice to meet you all. You bringing the supplies for North?
No, did we?
You did. Yes, that is what the ferry that you're here
Yep.
with. Ah, brilliant. You want to get them all unloaded and then follow me? I'll take you up through the cathedral to the edge of the forest.
Oh, excellent. Yes, let's do that.
All right. So the dock workers or the sailors unload everything, get it into wagons. They leave a couple guys to drive the wagons, and then they set off. A few hours later, you are left with several wagons full of shit, including your hunk of adamantine and a ranger.
And what about our wages?
Oh, they will pay you before you. They'll pay you before they leave.
How much was it?
Oh, fuck. Say 3 gold per person. 2-day trip. You're skilled. You'd probably count as skilled labor plus a bit more. So gold and a half per day.
Wait.
All right, hey. Let's head on up towards the cathedral.
Ah, Canadian elves.
Right.
All right. So Denethor, Den, Den leads you all deeper on into the forest. As he walks, he holds a symbol. It's a green shield with an elk head on it, painted on it, not an actual elk head. I feel I should specify. Out in front of him, and the trees and bushes on in front of him literally part in front of him. They literally move to the side.
Oh, fancy.
So eventually, Fuck, walks you all through the forest to go deeper on in. And as you go, it gets darker and darker until eventually you find yourselves in a closely packed stand of trees that look like they have black leaves.
Ainsa glanced to
just a-
Syl, like, is that normal?
There's just a hint of sunlight that comes through to touch the ground here.
Is that normal?
Here, yes.
I was gonna say, I've probably been here before too.
Roll a nature check. All right. These trees are called shadow top trees. They, true to their name, they block out the light. Hence the name of the place, actually, Shadow Top Cathedral.
Huh, well named.
Under the canopy of these trees, there is a single, smaller but still ancient-looking, moss-covered tree sitting in the middle of all of them. There are very few people visible. There are a couple of druids about, but they don't acknowledge you all. Den leads you all into the middle of the into the stand of trees next to the large one in the middle. Just says, "Sit here, eh? We're gonna rest here before we head out. Gotta find another couple of druids to take you all north. They've got some business up there."
Oh, wonderful.
Very well.
You get some rest, eh? Probably won't be back till tomorrow. With that, Den wanders off into the trees.
Well, interesting lot they are.
They tend to spend more time talking to plants.
Fair enough.
It's their way.
I'm going to say, speaking of which, and then basically wander off to stare at the shadow trees, because those are pretty badass.
All right. Yeah, so the shadow top trees they're fairly unique trees to the high forest. They're dark leaved, and they tend to absorb sunlight, but they're surprisingly brightly colored wood to go with them. Most of them are like a nice darker red color. If you go wandering around, occasionally a tree or a shrub will kind of nudge you without prompting. There are several awakened plants around here.
I will address them back. Yes, I am also talking to plants.
The plants don't respond, but they are they don't respond verbally, but they do give you a bit of a nod if you address them.
Okay, and as it starts getting darker, I'm going to wild shape into a squirrel and run back to camp.
It's always dark here.
Well, yeah, but
It's
end
the
of
opposite
day
of Philadelphia.
dark, not like
Yeah, fair. All right. Yeah,
I mean,
there's.
I realize there's less distinction here than anywhere else, but well,
Yeah.
except maybe the Underdark.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Um, yeah, no. If you wanna shape into a squirrel and head back, there's plenty of trees and branches for you to dash through. Um, once in a while, you hop onto an awakened tree, and they kind of start a bit as they feel you jump on them. But other than that, as long as you stay away from the big one in the middle.
Yeah, I'm just exploring the woods a little and not
Okay. Yeah. On your exploration, you probably see another couple of druids as well. I don't know if you want to talk to them at all, or.
I mean, as I am the visitor here, I'm going to open myself to what they want. If they see me, and I know that they have seen me and they don't make a move towards me, then I'm going to assume that they don't want conversation and leave them to it.
Um. They probably wouldn't react to you, as long as you weren't really disturbing anything.
Which I have no intention of doing.
Okay. All right. Um, Preening, meditation, checking out the forest.
Did you have a good squirrel, darling? Stroll,
That was
sorry.
fantastic. More of a scamper, really.
Ah, that makes all the difference, doesn't it?
It absolutely does.
You sound like someone who took the road less traveled by.
I get it.
All right. Anybody else got anything they want to do while they're in this druid enclave?
I'm more of a city lady.
Ox, I know you love nature. You are now in the middle of it. What do?
Yeah, I mean, Ox would be looking around, checking things out. I don't know. Moving plants is a little bit weird, though. He wouldn't get too close to those.
All right.
Unless they want a stool.
I mean,
Please don't make stools out of the awakened plants.
Will
So
the
much
stool
oh my
follow
God
you around?
now. It doesn't matter because that would kill you.
Okay.
Nothing personal.
Of course. For the record, no. A stool made out of an awakened tree would not follow you around.
what if you make a stool out of a tree and then awaken it?
I think it only works on living things.
Yeah, and
What if you
Animate
do it
objects at that point.
carefully enough that you don't kill the tree while making the stool?
I will hear it screaming.
I think the
I don't know.
takeaway is that we don't need any stools right now.
I don't know. I hope I never have to rule on this exact issue.
I mean, like, what if you like bonsai treed a tree into a stool and then awakened it?
Like I said,
So you made the tree a stump.
No. You specifically grew it into the shape of a stool.
Yeah, I mean,
Like a
I've
really
seen
Totally
nice
that.
do that.
chair.
They do it for the hulls of ships too.
I assume awakened trees can't really walk around. They're just kind of awakened
I
in their
think they
spot.
can.
Can
they
they?
can like shuffle at least.
I mean, not like fast.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure they have movement speeds. So let me check actually.
As I recall, it's not amazing. I was looking at awakening animals instead.
Yeah, they have
It'd be
they have 20 feet
Druids to
movement.
awaken other things. 20 feet of movement is pretty decent for a tree.
I mean, it's better than 0.
I assume they can't run.
It doesn't say
No,
anything.
there is nothing that says that they can't dash. So
Party go.
So, after I make my necromancer, I'm making an awakened tree.
Oh God. Okay. Well,
Or you could do both at once.
that's 2 campaigns in the future.
You can do if you do a giant awakened mushroom, you can use that to explain your necromancy.
No, not a necromancer, a necromancer.
Oh right, yeah.
I thought it was a
I don't think
You
I've
should have
heard
done
this
instead of
explained.
Ox.
Isn't that basically a vampire?
Not
It
necessarily.
depends. In races, vampires are basically sexless.
Ooh. Ox. While you are wandering around, you probably encounter a couple of druids.
Okay.
Do you want to speak to the druids?
Hi.
I think you just go meow.
They're not cat druids, are they?
The one
Not at the moment.
the one that you're speaking to has quite the menagerie around her. including one little cat.
But she herself is human.
She herself is an elf.
Elf.
The point is that there are no Khajiit here.
I'll say hi in Elvish then.
But Khajiit did nothing wrong.
They really didn't. The elf
They are
looks
technically
at you.
Kender.
The elf looks at you, Ox, and replies back in Elvish, "Hi." The animals around her look a bit uneasy at your presence. What? What are you exactly?
I am Ox.
Where did you come from, Ox?
That's kind of a personal question, isn't it?
She looks confused. I suppose?
Well, I guess most recently I came from Yartar. We came up along the river. And now we're headed north. Ox looks around trying to find north. I think it's that way. Points west.
She kind of puts her head in her hand briefly. It's that way. And she points north.
Yes. North. He points north this time.
Are you going to Everland?
Indeed we are.
Okay. Excellent. I suppose. My name is Azira. I believe I'll be going with you.
Excellent.
She extends a hand.
Yeah. I'll shake it.
It is good to meet you, Ox.
And you as well. He looks around at her menagerie. Will your friends be accompanying us?
So looking around at them, there is a little orange cat. There are a bunch of generic woodland creatures. There's a few badgers, a couple of owls. But notably, there are a pair of hippogriffs and what looks like a dire wolf.
Interesting.
With her. Yes. Yes, they will. They go everywhere I do.
Ox will say hello to them as well. And extend a hand to one of the hippogriffs.
The hippogriff snaps at your finger. Griff! Don't snap at him.
So what's the question? Would that hurt the hippogriff more or Ox more if it actually got his finger?
Yes.
So they're usually like accused of eating horses.
Yeah. Griff, don't snap at guests. We're in the cathedral.
Wasn't it hippogriffs that were in the in Zephyrus' tower?
I believe so, yes. Yes, I believe they were hippogriffs at his tower.
I thought they were griffins.
I mean, I can check.
They're like right next to each other.
Basically, yeah. Oh no, yeah, they are griffins in his tower. Never mind, I was mistaken. All right, though. Yeah, you don't. The hippogriff misses you, but it looks suitably chastised when Azira starts calling him out. I'm sorry about them. They're very. They don't appreciate. I'm not quite sure how to put this. They don't appreciate things that aren't natural.
Um, hmm. Ox looks around for a moment, confused. He doesn't see anything not natural, though. Oh, okay.
Well, it was good to meet you, Ox.
And you as well.
I will see you tomorrow.
Ox nods and continues wandering around.
All right. The other druid present just kind of ignores you. Any attempts to speak to him, he gives kind of a derisive. He looks at you a little bit, gives you a derisive sniff, looks away. All right. All right. Um, if nobody else has anything they want to try,
Here, when she's done, Inks might just kind of play around with some melodies on her lyre. Just partly out of boredom, partly out of curiosity to see how actually the forest reacts to it. If they can actually hear it.
they can hear.
Like, if somebody plays the lyre in a forest, there's no one else around, does it make a noise?
Hard
Most
for you to play if nobody else is around, wouldn't it?
I'm just that good.
Yeah, there's most of the smaller trees and shrubs will sway a bit if you get a good tune going. If you once you start getting louder, though, the big tree at the center of the cathedral starts to creak a little bit. The one that Adriel is currently meditating under.
If you drop an ancient tree on me, I will never forgive you.
Hey, she's not doing anything. She's playing music.
Yeah, Adriel, you start feeling your sense of peace starts to erode a little bit. It's starting to be replaced with annoyance.
Send Inks my most powerful birdie look.
Oh, I guess you hear creaking, but the look at least keeps her. She'll get quieter again, but she wasn't going to get too loud anyway. It is a lyre. It's not a full-on lute.
Right.
Yeah, they don't get loud no matter how hard you try.
Yeah. All right. So, as long as you quiet down again, the annoyance goes away a bit.
He's playing a tiny harp.
Yeah, the annoyance goes down. The peace comes back. And the creaking stops.
At least give some appreciative words to the swaying trees, because she hasn't had an audience like that before.
They, does anybody speak Sylvan?
Nope.
Nah.
Nope.
Sil, I feel like you might.
Common, Elvish, Primordial, and Druidic.
Ah. Okay.
I probably would have picked it up if I had more language slots, but there's only so many.
All right. Yeah. The trees spout a little bit of noise in a language that none of you guys recognize. They keep it quiet though.
Sorry, wrong button.
What was that? Fairy fire!
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and do that. That's a good idea.
No.
All right. Shoot. As the night fades on, you guys make camp. What are you doing for camping?
Oh, we're glamping. We're gonna fire up the generator. We're gonna get some DVDs.
So all
I
of the
mean-
things that druids hate.
We have a tiny hut, so I feel like it would come packed with goodness.
Fair.
We have a tiny hut, and then I guess, well, I mean, we gotta find a place to put the horses, but that's about it. But I mean, it's a forest.
Yeah, no, you can. This is a druidic enclave. You can let the horses go anywhere here. They are free to roam anywhere within the cathedral.
Like, just remember your curfew. Have fun, you crazy kids.
Yeah. Any fires?
That sounds like a bad idea.
Okay,
We can all see in the dark. So.
Edria would see no reason to have one.
Good choice.
Yeah, depending on how hot, how cold it gets here, but
The tiny hut does.
the tiny hut's
climate
fine with that.
control, I think. Yeah, the tiny hut does climate control, I think.
Yay, tiny hut.
All right. Tiny hut's transparent on the inside, right?
Yeah.
All right. So during the night, Adriel and Ox, you two are probably awake for watch. Make perception checks for me, please.
Well,
All right. So in the middle of the night, you all hear a lot of creaking and cracking noises coming from the center of the cathedral. You do not see anything moving, but when you look towards the center, the enormous tree that was there before is no longer there.
What is it with gigantic things sneaking up and...
It wants more music.
I feel like some of the rest of us should start taking turns on watch.
At this
I don't know what you
point.
guys are talking about. That was always there.
Or always not there.
Yes. That's what I
I
meant.
realized there wouldn't have been any problem with Inks's normal pipe, right? In regards to fire.
Probably not.
Okay, good. Because she's basically chain smoking all the time.
Of course you are. All right. Yeah. So in the morning, you all wake up. The tree is still gone.
I don't know what tree you're talking about. There wasn't ever a tree.
I remember.
Is there any like stuff on the ground that might show like a big shape of a tree print?
There is a large imprint in the ground where the tree used to be. If you would like to find anything else, please make me a survival check.
Good thing I'm pretty.
Good thing you are pretty. So pretty. Hi.
There we go.
All right. Yeah, you easily find what yeah, basically. You easily find enormous tree prints leading off into the forest.
Well, then. Certainly not the way I was expecting to find my morning, but I'll take it.
You can't take it, it's already gone.
Does Still
I've
seem
missed
worried
you.
about this?
Sorry?
Does Still or anyone else seem worried about this lack of tree here?
Did they notice the lack of tree?
Got up from my watch and there just wasn't a tree.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, it's not my grove.
You're not wrong.
Do you have a grove specifically?
Excellent question. Do you?
I know
not
you
sure
have
I
a
have one
groove.
I'm not sure I have one that's specifically mine.
She's just from everywhere.
I mean, I sort of am. I've kind of wandered around quite a bit.
You were probably
But I
trained
had
at
my-
such and such grove, but
Yeah, and I had my druidic awakening on the coast is what I have.
Okay. Um, so, as you are all pondering the mystery of the disappearing tree, your good friend Den returns. Hiya!
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
Well, if
We're all right.
confused.
That's good. That's good. Ooh, CC is the big imprint. I guess he went out for the night, eh?
Ah, so this is normal then. Good to know.
Oh yeah. He likes to go out and scare the troublemakers every once in a while. Doesn't like having people in the grove, so keeps him calm. You know?
I
Of
do
course.
indeed.
So he just goes out in the boot, scooting them out.
How racist do you feel right now?
Can I be racist against my own country?
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Yes, you can be racist against your own country.
I mean, I've
I don't
had
know if you've
Americans.
crossed that line yet, but
I've had Americans literally ask me to say "out and about, scouting them out" before, repeatedly.
Just the
Wait.
fact that you're doing it of your own volition.
I
well,
mean,
so
you say it very
get parked
well.
the car in Harvard Yard.
Scouting them out. What's that from?
Pack the car and have it yard.
Pop my cap.
I parked the car in Harvard Yard.
Anyway,
All right. Yeah, he's just out and about, scouting them out.
Well, that's good to know.
That's
And this
fine.
morning's certainly gotten better now that you've gotten here.
Ooh, so nice of you. Let's take you to meet your. Let's get you on the road, though, eh? Another caravan coming in. Tomorrow, or the next day. Gotta get you guys going.
That would be most kind, thank you.
All right. Leave. At least one of you already met your traveling buddy.
She immediately looks to Syl, assuming that's the case.
I'm going to shrug. I didn't talk to anyone.
All right. So, Ox, you've met Azira. The rest of you see a wood elf coming up behind Den. She has long brown hair, standard elf, with a menagerie of animals around her. So, a pair of hippogriffs, a dire wolf at her side, several badgers, a couple of owls, and a small yellow cat peeking out. Sorry, small orange cat peeking out of a backpack that she's carrying.
Oh, look, we're like friends.
Meow.
Then she'll whisper, "It's okay, you're still prettiest."
If a cat could roll its eyes at you, it would. Meow.
I'm pretty sure they
Hey,
have
she's
the
being
ability.
serious.
I think you're the smartest one in the party now, actually. But
I think I was tied with the cat.
Might be smart, but it's not street smart.
all right. This is Azira, eh? She'll be keeping you company on your way up to Everland. She's got some business to attend to up there herself. She's passing through on her way north.
From Canadian to Scottish.
Hush. I am not good.
Wisconsin, Canada.
I am not good at consistent accents.
Just be yourself, man. Well, pleasure to meet you. My name is Inks.
I'm Azira. It is a pleasure to meet you as well.
Oh, and who are your lovely friends?
So she introduces the cat is known as Orange Cat. The hippogriffs are Griff and Wildbeak, and the dire wolf is Grim.
Like, so we'll say hello to each of them in turn, and then introduce Relics.
The hippogriffs and Grim seem unimpressed, but the Orange Cat kind of paws at Relics briefly. Relics kind of paws him back. Ow!
Oh, Relics is making friends.
All right. Yeah, Zero will go around and introduce herself to all of you guys. Ox, she just shakes his hand. She'll shake your hand again. It's a pleasure to be traveling with you, Ox.
You as well.
I hope you don't mind. I have many, many questions to ask you.
Not a problem.
Excellent.
Inks will just like grin at him off to the side. You're popular.
All right. So, your business, I assume, is pressing, or you wouldn't be here. Mine is as well. Shall we be off?
Yes, let us go.
I mean, is there
Excellent.
any compelling reason not to?
Not really. Not much to do in Shadowtop Cathedral.
I mean, I had a good time.
Good for
That's
you.
fair.
I'll be happy to get to Evelyn, though.
There's not much to do if you're not a druid or similarly interested in nature.
The trees are quite nice audience, though.
Aren't they though?
Unfortunately, I can't get too much of an round of applause from them.
They acknowledge in their ways.
Don't they just? Well then, to Everlund.
Indeed, to Everland. Alrighty. So Azira tends to take the scout role whenever she's traveling. So she's normally out on a hippogriff in front watching and scouting ahead. What is everybody? What do we want to do for marching order for this? Basically, you have three caravans or three large wagons full of stuff that are coming with you as well.
Kissing is up with one of the wagons.
I think if you're not gonna ride at something else, you should probably be on the wagons.
We
Right.
acquired horses, but
Oh, do we still have horses?
We do.
Yeah, you should.
All right.
I guess Ox will ride near the middle wagon since he can run to the front or the back, depending on where we get hit.
Fair enough.
I'll take rear guard.
Not if we get hit, just where we get hit.
Yeah, I was gonna say I love your optimism there.
Staying close to the middle. Good to have people on both sides. If you know what I mean.
All right. So your first couple of days of travel are pretty peaceful. You're still in the forest. It gets steadily lighter as you're heading out. And there are fewer and fewer shadow top trees as you go. Eventually, you break out of the high forest and back into open air. You are probably right about here ish on the map. So Everland is basically a straight shot ahead of you. Olliston's Hold is right here. If you wanted to stop in there at all, you could probably find you could find some seeds. They're probably, I can't remember if it's deciduous or not. That's the trees with leaves.
That's
The trees
deciduous.
with leaves that fall
Deciduous.
off. Yeah, that's deciduous.
Yeah, so they're deciduous. So you could totally find some shadow top seeds.
Sweet, I'm definitely gonna collect a few of those.
All right.
Assuming that, I don't get prodded by a bush the first time I try.
No. Actually.
I mean, personally, I would argue for a more easterly route that keeps us within the borders of the wood.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
We're specifically hitting Austin's Hold.
Right. You can also do that. It'll be slower, but probably safer.
Well, we don't even have to dip in that far. We go and roll around.
Yeah. But at the same time, we don't want to hit Austin's Hold.
Right. You're also still, bear in mind, though, that you will be traveling through forest, which is, especially with all your horses and wagons,
Well, the wagons are the bigger issue, so yeah, I guess so.
not exactly the easiest terrain to cross.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think about trailblazing.
So, like, you can. How far would it be? Call it 120? Yeah, call it 120 miles. You could probably do that in like 10 days. That's a day. Call that another day. So, direct route, it's 4 days, but it takes you right along the edge of the plague. Indirect route, more than double the time, but safe.
And I get to keep staring at trees.
Can we like split the difference? I don't want to quite hit the plague.
Yeah, you can split the difference. Pop out like here-ish. And then just head north along the road, basically.
That works for me.
We can call that 6 days.
Suits. And like I said, unless we're carrying something for less than told.
I mean, I don't know. When Azira doesn't care, so unless you guys have a particular compulsion to go there.
We need more lead.
I don't think we need more lead.
I'm pretty sure you completely covered it.
We did. But we need some place to put the lead. That is another issue.
You have a wagon to carry your adamantine piece in.
Oh no, moving around
Yes.
is the easy part, or solved anyway. But we want to stop moving it around, but in order to do that, we have to put it down somewhere, and we don't know where to put it down.
We can keep moving around. We just need a portable hole so it's easier.
Hmm.
That would do it.
And it would put it completely beyond detection.
In fact, it would.
Huh. I wonder if we can get that in
The
Neverland.
other thing is, once we get to Everland and we figure out what this fast traveling methodology is, that'll open up a lot of options too.
Very true.
Because we could say, go back to, what's his name, the dwarf up north, and just say, hey, can you stick this in an unused mine? We don't want it anywhere near people. That might work.
We can't just stick it in an unused mine. We gotta like find a volcano that's guarded by dangerous enemies and put it in there.
I
Then we
think
have to
there's
get past the
probably-
dangerous enemies.
Nah, hear me out. You hire a bunch of fire giants to defend it in this volcano.
Now there's a good idea. I mean, who better to guard for a volcano than fire giants?
Exactly.
Of course, they'll never think of it.
All right. So, trip along your trip. So, your trip through the forest is basically the same as it was coming in. Eventually, you stop seeing any awakened plants, but that's about it. Yeah, eventually, it steadily gets lighter. There are fewer awakened plants. You're coming into the outskirts of the forest now, where normal people can go without fear. Yeah, eventually you come out onto the road. So you'll come out of the forest around here. You come out into the road just south of the Silverwood forest. So named because it's primarily composed of birch trees. And because it's right next to the city of Silvery Moon. But Everland is about a day's ride north of you from the road.
Well,
Finally.
then, let us ride.
All right. So, as you are heading on, as you are heading along the road, you actually run into a couple of small troops of knights who wear the emblem of Silvery Moon, and who salute you as they ride past.
Inks will blow a few of them kisses.
Everybody roll perception checks.
I'm not even technically bad at it. I just always roll shit for them.
Same.
Wow, Azira fucked it up. She's a
I feel
good
that
one.
way about nature.
Sorry?
No, I like all the things that I'm supposed to be particularly good at. I keep rolling terribly in, and then I get like a crit on my perception.
Same.
Yeah. All right. So as you're heading along, you, in addition to the, you can tell why the knights have had to go through here. There are several points at which you can see some sort of disaster has struck. There are bodies lying about. There are large craters next to the road. Something bad's been through. At one point, however, let me roll something real quick, but I don't think he'll beat most of you. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, Rich and Syl, you two spot you spot a bunch of skeletons in the trees, but they're not moving forward to attack. Behind them, you spot something much, much bigger than a skeleton. And if you give me a minute, I will pop up a picture for you.
Even without seeing the picture, I feel like this is the sort of thing I should be pointing out to someone.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I do feel the same way.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. You spot this hiding in the trees behind the undead.
That's kind of gross.
That's
I
kind
mean,
of horrifying.
You.
Yes. Yes. He's not really meant to be pretty. He's also watching you very intently.
So yeah,
yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
should
let
say
the rest of the party know about that.
I shouldn't say he, I should say it. It is watching you very closely.
Why must I always get the strangest stalkers?
Yeah, you can point it out to the rest of them, but he's pretty well hidden.
There's a big fugly thing that way.
Yeah.
Also an armada of skeletons.
Sorry?
I said also an armada of skeletons.
Yeah. If you keep watching him, eventually he and his skeletons, it and its skeletons, kind of fade back into the Silverwood.
So yeah, generally speaking, I think that might be sort of a problem.
Well, obviously that's a problem. But we need to get these supplies to Everland before we can address that.
It is a bit difficult running after something when you have plenty of provisions surrounding you that you have to deal with.
I suppose I can't really argue with that.
Sorry, what was that?
I said I suppose I cannot really argue with that.
Yeah. I don't know what you would even be arguing with. But it's there. It's in the Silverwood somewhere.
Yeah. This idea of not going after it because we have a bunch of things that we'd have to protect at this
I
point.
mean, I don't especially mean go charging in after it right now. I'm just saying at some point we're probably going to have to deal with that.
Somebody might.
Yes.
Um,
But perhaps we deal with it after we make some more friends in Everland.
is anybody curious about what it is?
I'm quite
Actually,
curious.
would I have encountered that in my limited studies?
Roll to find out. Roll either.
Nope.
Roll any knowledge besides any knowledge other than history. I'll give you. You would not
The
have
only one I'm
encountered-
trained in.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. An animal handling roll is definitely not the one to go with here, Rich. Not a knowledge skill.
What do we define as knowledge?
Intelligence based.
Like int skills.
I mean, really, isn't athletics just the knowledge of how to move your body?
Yeah, I agree with the Ox.
Not that kind of knowledge. Wrong kind of knowledge. All right. So. All right. 1 second. Let me grab this shit. All right. So, still, you recognize your newest stalker. It's something called a devourer. It's it's one of Orcus's favorite instruments, basically. They're normally formed from lesser demons that are transformed by Orcus himself into these things. And their favored way of killing things is by using their rib cages to devour people. They're intelligent undead. They're fairly intelligent undead. And I feel like it goes without saying, they're very strong.
So less Master Blaster, more of a Venus flytrap.
Sure.
By fairly intelligent, do we mean like as intelligent as the average member of this party, or intelligent as the smartest members of this party?
More intelligent than the average member of this party.
Alright.
Yeah, we might have a.
I mean, it's not like a particularly high bar to hit, but
I think he might actually be more intelligent than all of you. Which, again, not a high bar to hit, but he hits it.
wow.
I bet he
All
has
right.
crap street smarts though.
And just look at his charisma.
He actually has not awful charisma.
I was gonna say he's got presence.
He certainly does. He may not be pretty, but he's got presence as fuck.
Well, I suggest we get the hell to Everland.
They seem to be letting us go for now, so let's get moving. And hope he's not just setting up a better ambush later down the road.
Down the road is only about 10 kilometers, 8 miles from where you guys are.
What does Azira think of this?
She does not spot him, but if you tell her when she swoops back, she curses a lot under her breath. That is bad. Not good.
You don't have to tell me twice, darling.
No, the Devourers are some of Orcus's favored instruments. If there's one here, it means that this is not an accident. It means that there's a reason that this plague is here. A very important one, no doubt.
Well, I could guess why Orcus isn't very happy.
Yeah, why might that be? Why would you know that?
I thought you said it was like what happened in the Underdark was knowledge. Like
I mean,
something
not
big
the
happened.
Not the specifics that one of you stole a fucking cosmic artifact from a demon lord.
But just the fact that the demon lords got their butt kicked in the Underdark.
Yeah, but I think the common assumption wouldn't be that nobody was stupid enough to steal the fucking wand of Orcus.
Oh yeah.
And yet there we are.
Yes, and yet there you are.
You took what?
Syl, do you wanna
Wait,
Inks, do you wanna tell the story?
I'm trying to remember. I don't think we actually did we? I don't remember.
I'm sure you did.
No, I'm pretty sure I joked about it, but then we were like, no, we don't need to take this.
I'm fairly certain you did. Because I definitely remember you picking it up and having to con save on it.
I don't.
You can always look at your character sheet from that campaign real quick.
Yeah, I would have to do that. Because I don't remember. I remember joking about it, but I don't remember whether it actually happened or not.
Pick up what?
Wand of Orcus.
Because I know, like, she had the book from the Yellow King. That's the one she carried around the entire time, but... I can't get to my old characters.
Yeah, the other cosmic artifact that you guys decided to steal.
I mean, we didn't really steal the book.
I'm pretty sure she only took the thing and, like, joked about taking the wand, but didn't actually do it. That was an out-of-character joking thing.
The book was stolen from you guys at the end of the campaign. Um,
The book we gave to the wizard guy at the end, so we could put it away for safekeeping.
the book was definitely stolen while you guys were fighting the final battle. Of that, I am absolutely sure.
I really remember giving him the book and not the
You
wand.
did. You left the book with him before the demon lords started fighting, but then it was stolen while they were fighting.
That's comforting.
That is so confusing.
We'll talk about it afterwards.
Yeah. But the main thing was, like, I figured it was common knowledge that Orcus and the rest of them got their butt kicked in the Underdark. Not for the not knowing the exact reasons, but that would be a reason for saying that.
That is common knowledge. Like the general idea of what you guys did is common knowledge. Your old characters are in fact well-known heroes now. But the specifics of how it was done and who killed who and such are not necessarily as well known.
She was just saying, surprise, of course Orcus is pissed. He got his butt kicked in the Underdark.
Nobody knows the truth. Nobody knows what went on with the disciples down there or anything. Or the details of it, anyways.
I'm totally going to go back into my records and see if we actually grabbed that wand.
Message me about it afterwards.
Will do.
Okay? They were nominally heroes. You saved the world from being devoured by demons, basically. That's heroic.
I think you mean we saved my bank account from not going to zero.
I don't know about you. I was a hero.
Details. You still saved the world in the process. People think you're a hero for that. The fact that you all basically up and vanished afterwards is also a minor detail.
Well.
All right.
The moral to the story is Everland before that thing comes after us.
Yes, that is the moral to the story.
Although given how close it is to town.
You can get to town within the end of the day. All right. So, after you meet the Devourer, I love that thing's name so much. I love every bit of it.
Straight to the point.
It really is. Anyhow, after your brush with the Devourer and Winnell's or Azira's bout with the bout of swearing, you eventually come up to Everland. So Everland is another city that's sitting on the banks of a river. It's got a very thick stone wall around it. It's got nice, clean, wide streets. The soldiers of the army around here are frequently patrolling around. Everything really looks pretty nice here. It's not flashy, but I'm not sure.
Does Everland have a reputation for anything at all?
It's a merchant city. It's another one that's on the. It's another one that's on the river. It's also a. It's also notable, actually, in that it's just resigned from the Lord's Alliance.
And is it a human city or an elf city?
It is primarily human, I believe. It's a mix. It's a decent mix, but primarily human.
Okay. Right. Well, approach the gates. Wave to them.
They see that you are not undead and wave you through the gates. They clank open and let you into the town. As you are entering, you also notice that there is a large heap of black stone protruding from one of the hills in the city. It's basically 4 cylindrical towers all joined together.
Huh. Do we have a contact we're supposed to meet with the supplies?
You have the guy that Thwip told you to meet, Crowan Valharrow.
That's not so much the supplies as our own thing.
Yeah. That was our personal reason for coming up here.
Right. Yes. Fuck, I completely forgot to mention this before. So Den would have told you guys to meet up with a friend of his named Kaithora Shen. She's basically the master of commerce in the city, and she would distribute the supplies that you guys have brought.
Right.
So you can, find Kaithora without too much issue. She is she can be found on the docks directing another couple of shipments that are just coming in via river. And she appreciatively accepts the shipments that you guys have brought.
As we're getting done with that, Inks might ask her if she'd kindly be able, if she by chance knows Crowan Valharrow and where we might find him.
Oh, the Archmage. Yes, he's. You can find him in Moonleam Tower. She points to the big heap of black stone above the city, or that rises above the city, that you guys noticed coming in.
Ah, thank you.
All right. I think there's actually a map for Everland in here somewhere. Here it is. Yeah, I'll just put you guys on here for now. All right.
An Archmage. Goodness, your friends know some good friends.
All right. Aziro will leave you guys mumbling about needing to do some research and wander off into the city.
What time of day is it?
Mid-afternoon. Edging.
Okay, let's go see if we can find this guy.
All right. So, all right. So you can head over to Moongleam Tower. You know that symbol that's on the ring that Flip gave you?
Yes.
It is stamped onto the doors of the tower.
Of course it is.
So the guards standing in front also have it emblazoned on their shields. Yeah. The guards, upon noticing your very large ring, yeah. Sir, are you here to see the? Are you here to see Master Valhalla, sir?
Yes, I am here to see the wizard.
All right. Please come in. So they welcome you in. Inside, there is a lovely courtyard with a large decorative pond in the middle of it. There are dozens of Tressym flying around. There are several people in blue and white robes chatting out here in the courtyard. And there are a few more. There are a few more guards around here just looking around.
Goodness, Relix. It's your family here.
Now, Rolex goes off to chat with a few of them.
It's like a family reunion.
The guards continue to walk you up, though, into one of the towers, continuing to climb and climb up towards the top. Eventually, you come to the top. It's an open-roofed turret. There's a large signaling mirror shaped like a crescent moon, along with a circle inscribed with what look like arcane runes. Next to said circle is a taller, elderly man with a long white beard and wearing the same blue and white robes as the people down in the courtyard. He turns towards you all and arches an eyebrow. I don't believe we've ever met. Have we?
No.
No. We're sorry for disturbing you, good sir, but we were sent here by one Thwip Ironbottom.
Yes. Thwip and Beldor told me something of you. You have need to travel quickly, I gather.
That we do.
All right. For whom are you working, my friends?
We are currently in the employ of the Lord's Alliance.
I see. Well, whom in the Lord's Alliance exactly?
Our direct patron is Lord Naboon. I'll give his full name.
I see. Tell me, how much do you all know about giants at this point? Not just them themselves as they are, but their history as well.
Some, not as much as we'd like. Or for myself, not as much as I'd like.
We've certainly been reading up a bit in the recent months.
Huh. Well, I have a theory, you see. Thousands of years ago, the giants ruled this world. They ruled the place they called Astoria. A beautiful place, or so they say. Then the dragons brought it all down. My theory is that the dragons are involved once more with what's with their actions now. Only a dragon can goad giants like this.
Do you have a theory as to what the dragons are trying to accomplish?
Oh, none at all. The simplest one would just be to kill all the giants. They hate them, after all. You should know that better than... Actually, do you wear any symbols of Bahamut openly, Adriel?
The buckler would have to have a symbol of Bahamut on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
He'll gesture at
Does it
your
want?
He'll gesture at your at the symbol of Bahamut on your buckler. You would know that better than most, I expect. Most
Pick a
giants
fight
don't...
just to kill is not the Platinum Dragon's way.
Very true. But given the opportunity, I expect he wouldn't necessarily bat an eye at wiping them out.
He will not defend them.
Very true. Anyhow, do me a favor. Take the idea to your Lord Naboon. He's in Waterdeep, I expect, yes?
As far as we know.
Excellent. Well, I happen to have an excellent way to get you right back to Waterdeep. He smiles at you and gestures to the circle that he's standing next to. This is a teleportation circle. I believe you might be familiar with them.
In principle.
My organization has a network of 6 of these circles. across the north. As long as you wear that ring, they will teleport you to any other circle free of charge. As long as you are willing to work against the devastation that the giants are causing.
Well, that's certainly in our best interest as well. As it has been.
All right. There are circles, obviously, here. Sorry, what?
I was just going to ask, has he mentioned the name of the order yet?
Oh, he has not. Would you like to ask him any questions about it while you're here?
Yes, I would. I would, in fact.
Ah,
Gonna wait for him to
Would you
finish
like
his
to ask him
explanation
all
of
the
the circle,
questions?
but
yeah. Let him finish telling you where he can get you with said circles. So there are teleportation circles in Everland. Obviously, you're standing next to it. There's one in Waterdeep. There's one in Yartar, which you guys were just in. There's one in Neverwinter, which is where you met Syl. There is
I thought we
one
met in Luskin and then went to Neverwinter.
Sorry?
I said I thought we met in Luskin and then went.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Never mind. I mixed it up.
It's not the shithole, that's all you need to know.
Yeah, there's one in Mirabar, which is I will draw that. Oh, somebody else beat me to it. Thank you. And there is one in Loudwater. Oh, yep, there we go. So, yeah, six teleportation circles around the region to several major cities.
Sorry, where's Loudwater?
Loudwater is
South
to
of
the
the High
south of
Forest.
the High Forest.
yeah, sorry, the green is really hard to see.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to replace it with something else here in a second.
Oh, that's fair.
So
Um,
I went with the highlighted boxes. They're easy.
no, that's fair. So after explaining about the circles and where they are, Crowan looks at you all and kind of smiles a bit. I imagine you must have questions. Of course, you're young. I will do my best to answer. He makes a ask gesture.
Well, we do have this artifact of possible historical importance. We should probably have you take a look at once we're in a shielded room.
Ooh,
Actually,
that is a good one. That is a good idea. As soon as I load his sheet, I will tell you what he knows about it. Let's
Everything. Literally all the things.
He knows all the fucking things.
Yeah, I looked at his sheet. He's got a fucking plus 13 to all his int skills. Jesus. All right. Yeah, he knows some stuff about this. So he takes a look at your hunk of adamantine, and he hems and haws over a bit. Oh, and he goes downstairs briefly, comes back up holding a book, and compares something in the book to your adamantine hunk. And I can finally stop calling it that. This appears to be a piece of the Vonendad.
And what would the Vonendod be?
It is an ancient fire giant war machine meant to fight dragons. A colossus meant to slay all of their enemies. It was lost and broken in the time of Astoria, millennia ago.
I imagine it was indiscriminate.
In what manner?
Kills everything in the general vicinity.
Basically, it's a giant fucking war machine.
Yeah. That's bad.
And I mean giant in the
colloquial sense.
Basically, there are no senses in which you do not mean giant.
yes.
Is
Like-
this a vital piece? Will not having this prevent them from using it?
He shrugs. I don't know. It's too small to tell for certain.
Well, they knew where it was and they went to go digging for it, so anyone who's living on any other pieces should probably be warned.
That's the thing, though. We've no idea where the other pieces are.
Well, we do know how they were seeking it.
And point to the
Explain
rod
to 'em
that's
about
the
the
giant
rod, yeah.
rod that's with the piece.
Yes. The rod of the Vonendod. I'm gonna
So
spell
wrap that in lead and toss it overboard with the rock too.
Yeah, I'm gonna spell that out real quick. In case anybody's curious. So yeah, the fire giants are making this. This would be very useful to find it, but it's still only so much range. Pieces of this thing could be all over the north. There simply aren't enough of us to find them all. If you have some better way of finding them, though, besides just walking around and using this rod.
No, we have no hints as to where they might be.
I do. Sorry?
Do we have any? I don't know. We didn't even know what it is.
Yeah, you didn't know what it is until a few minutes ago.
Creating original spell specifically for the purposes of scouring the worlds for large volumes of adamantine.
Yeah. I was gonna say, this is definitely a bigger job than what we can do right now.
I mean, we can ping
Seems
every
like
so often
wish
as we wander
spell level.
around.
We can. I will see what I can do about finding it. If spells to detect all the large concentrations of adamantine in the world were possible, though, I feel the dwarves would have, or easily possible at least, I feel the dwarves would have done it centuries ago. Would make mining much easier. I will do what I can. I promise you that.
I suppose our next step is to figure out where we might be able to store it so they can't find it. It is a bit difficult to go dragging around the world.
It's fully wrapped, so we can store it here. You could take it to Waterdeep if you wished, or we can store it here. Might be useful to have here for spell research, anyways.
Is there any particular reason to take it to Waterdeep?
No.
Thanks
I don't
for
think we
certainly
have
not
any
thinking of
with
me.
the magic powers there. Unless Lord Naboon wants to take a look at it, but
I mean, he
But
wouldn't
if he wants
know
to,
more
either
than
he
he
can use
does.
the circles, or we can bring it to him.
Yeah, no,
For
this
the
guy's a
moment,
friendly
this-
wizard. I'm more than happy to leave it here. He can do more with it than we ever could.
And it frees us back. It frees us to bring back more pieces if we find any.
Exactly. And we would certainly be glad to leave it in your care. Thank you.
It was not by chance alone that we found this piece, and we may find others the same way. If they find it, they're going to dig it up, and they're going to haul it off.
Yeah.
As they did.
All right. Then we will also. I will send word to the rest. To my fellows. We will watch for more fire giants carrying these. We will stop them if we can.
I have been wondering, who are we? She just kind of like does a little coy tilt of the head. We as in quotes.
We, we are the Harpers. We are an organization that was founded centuries ago by the Harper family, a well-regarded group of wizards. They had a hatred against tyranny and chaos, and they sought to meet others who felt the same. And with them, they formed the Harpers. We have worked throughout the world to combat tyranny and to keep peace from the shadows.
Quite the noble mission.
Unfortunately, it may not be enough anymore. We shall see.
Inks might also ask him if he knows of the devourer nearby. If they're keeping a tab on it.
Nasty, bloody thing. Yes, we know. Be hard to miss the stink. It's hard to keep track on all of them, though.
All of them?
They move around so much.
Are they the cause of the plague?
They're a symptom of it. Whether or not they're the cause is, well, unlikely. Oh, yes. There's more than one. You hear stories about them sometimes. Nesme in particular, there's a harper there who occasionally spells us messages. She tells lovely stories of times when devourers have broken through the walls and what happens to the people they eat. Not a pretty thing to listen to.
I'm very sorry.
Don't Don't be sorry to me. Be sorry to all of them out there.
I suppose besides the undead, do you know of any particular giant activity around here that needs dealt with?
There's some to the northeast, I believe, but nothing that we've come too close to. Nothing around here, anyways. Everland has mostly just faced the occasional undead attack.
It's good to know it's one instead of both.
That does seem to be the trend.
I also did still want to ask about if we can get a portable hole in town.
Yeah, portable hole might not suffice to actually fit this thing in it, is the thing. How big across is I mean, yeah, you can solve one set of giant problems with that.
But then you might have undead giants, and that's a worse idea.
6 feet in diameter.
Thought a portable hole went through things, though.
No, it's basically a piece of cloth that's enchanted to open an interdimensional portal.
Just don't stick a bag of holding in it or you're fucked.
Or we know how to solve our problem.
It's only a 10-foot radius.
It's also only 10 feet deep.
I'll limit the explosion. I did see an arrow designed to drop a portable hole into a bag of holding on impact, though.
None of you are allowed to make that. You are not allowed to make instant annihilation arrows. I have to draw the line somewhere.
What
I
about a
don't know, somebody-
locate city bomb?
I'm sorry, a what?
There was,
I don't like the sound of that, so I feel like I'm gonna have to say no to it. But
I love the sound of it. Let's hear more of it.
it involves 3rd edition meta magic feats to apply damage to any spell, and if you applied it to locate city, it did like millions of d6 damage.
Wow.
damn. Okay.
Simple yet horrifying.
I like how someone turned a bag of holding into a gun/cannon type thing.
Yeah, there were a lot of horrifying things in 3rd edition. 3.5. Fortunately, none of them, well, most of them, aren't here. Alright. Does anybody have any other questions to ask the old guy?
Does he know anything about the Brotherhood? Like specifically any encryption they may use.
One-time pads.
Did we get a book of one-time pad?
We have a book that was encrypted with a one-time pad.
Are you sure it's not just a book of one-time pads? It'd look very similar.
It's a very good point, actually.
Also, depending on how good they are about their crypto discipline, they might be using it as more than one-time pads. I mean, it's a pain in the ass to make a book.
There's like reading by magic de-encrypt codes.
No. If given the pad and the ciphertext, you could easily decrypt magically that way, but you cannot magically decrypt. I mean, you could basically magically brute force it, but that'll take a while. Plus, you might get several conflicting messages. I don't know. I'd have to look that up, actually.
What can he tell us? Can he give us any? I mean, I don't know, for this, does he have any books on giants we can borrow so that we can be better prepared to deal with them?
Any books about witch stars?
Giants in general.
A member of the Sunshine Regiment, I see.
Are you looking for? He's got lots of fucking books about giants.
I mean, if he's got one entitled "How to Kill Giants Quickly and Easily," that would be best. But
that's not the kind of thing that he had.
How to win against giants in every situation would be a good replacement.
That would work.
How about ones in the ordning and their god?
That would be good too.
Also, what do you think about this weapon?
You could definitely get books about the ordning and the Allfather. How to kill giants. How to succeed at killing giants without even trying is not likely to be in there. If you're looking for anything about...
What you do, you get a druid to be a giant spider.
That was definitely trying. You could, if you were looking for something about specific type of giant, he could probably give you something about specific types of giants as well.
All of them.
Like I said, I want to know more about this weapon.
It's a fire giant.
Oh, you want to know more about the weapon? Okay. Yeah, he can hand you the book that he was identified it with. If you want to know more about the weapon.
Yes.
So a gigantic weapon is a gift.
No, the Vonendot is not a gift.
It was for the fire giant. That's what they said. It's a gift for the
They were collecting it for their duke, who's the leader of all the fire giants. I remember correctly.
You do.
All right. So that's what they're trying to do. And I'm sure everything that the duke demands is phrased as a gift to the Duke.
Yeah,
They're
most
not
likely.
taxes. They're totally voluntary.
Mm, I feel like it's worth pointing out. This is also the Duke that Zephyros said he couldn't get in contact with. There is only one fire giant Duke.
Yeah, so things are getting weird.
That might be something the party wants to pass on, although I was not privy to it.
Actually, does somebody want to tell? Has anybody told Syl about Zephyros? Does anybody want to tell?
I can't imagine it hasn't come up in all of our travels.
Yeah, it probably would have been like since it was like fairly
Do
recently
you
before we
know
got
out
there.
of character who that is?
Sorry, I didn't hear all that.
Do you know out of character who Zephyros is?
Vaguely.
Does anybody want to explain, real quick?
So he's this cloud giant wizard who had a debt to pay to Lord Naboon. So he did that by taking us on his cloud castle all the way up from Waterdeep to Waterdeep to Brine Shander. Really quickly.
Complete with enormous hat.
And we found out basically that the reason the giants are going crazy is because the ordning got shattered and they're all trying to figure out what the hell to do now. And he can't get in contact with any of the leaders of the giant types.
So, one of said leaders is the Duke of the Fire Giants. Zephyros could not contact him. But the Fire Giants are claiming this is a gift for their Duke.
So either they're just not talking to Zephyros or they're being tricked.
Perhaps a dragon ate their Duke. Declared itself the new Duke.
Yeah, that would go over.
I'm pretty sure the de facto rule is you're the Duke if you can declare yourself the Duke and not have anyone disagree.
For long.
Well, if all the disagreeers are dead, then no one disagrees.
For long, yes.
But I'm
And
not
if
sure
you eat
how
the guy, well, if you eat the guy who used to be the Duke, who's going to disagree?
Exactly. If you're that tough, you get to be Duke. Otherwise, they probably have something more civilized than that.
there's one thing to like be a dragon and beat maybe a lord of the type of giants. There's another thing to be a dragon and suddenly shatter their entire existence. So I don't think they're involved in that part.
Yeah, no, unless Tiamat or Bahamut got involved, and even that's kind of a stretch for one of them. So there's definitely something big going on, but we don't know what it is. The dragons, I mean, Adriel's theory right now is the dragons are taking advantage of the situation. They didn't invoke it.
Yeah, that makes sense, but he doesn't seem to think that much. And the question is, like, I'm trying to figure out whether it's something we should talk to him about or leave it vague because of how the information, where we got the information.
I would be as coy as possible.
Hinks is good at that.
figure I'll throw that up. So you wanted to ask what he knows about basically what Zephyros told you about the ordning being shattered?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase that, or whether to like ask it flat out. Because he seems to think it's the dragons, and the dragons couldn't do that. So whether he actually knows about that or not, or would believe it, is a different thing.
Don't know about that, but we should definitely tell him.
To be like, so hypothetically speaking.
Yeah, that'll do it. All right. Telling him about the ordning breaking would. Yeah.
Like, hypothetically speaking, if their entire way of being suddenly shattered above them for some reason, possibly because of their god, what do you think might have caused that? What do you think might be the way of handling that?
They would handle it badly. Very, very badly.
But do you think a dragon could have actually done that?
The dragon couldn't have done it themselves. Dragon could maybe do something that would cause the Allfather to shake everything up. A dragon couldn't shatter the ordning themselves. They don't have the power. The
Could
Allfather.
Orcus?
Sorry?
Could Orcus?
Oh no. Am is a greater god. It would take someone of similar power similar or maybe even greater power to shatter his instructions on his children. If the ordning has been shattered, is he? I swear Bahamut.
Greater or middle?
Pretty sure.
Lesser or middle? He's not a major deity. He's the lead deity for good dragons, but he's still considered a minor deity.
Oh shit.
I think Tiamat might be a greater, but I don't think so. Exception the 4A Pantheon, but because he kind of absorbed all the other paladin gods in 4A.
Right. Okay, I'll have to check exactly what he is then. I swore he was a greater god.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Even if he was, shattering the ordnung is not something he could do on his own.
No. None of the other gods probably could manage that. The Allfather would have to do it himself. So, TLDR, he agrees with the theory, but he doesn't think that anybody else would have done the shattering besides himself.
Right. Which puts us no closer to why he would have done it.
Or how to deal with the giants after that happens.
Yeah, dealing with them is how to deal with them is kind of up to you at this point.
Yeah. Because we kind of have to do that ourselves, too. No one wants the chosen of the gods running around again. That was bad. Although I'm sure the dragons can help.
Okay, so once we get all the information, I guess the question is, do we go directly back to Waterdeep now, or stay around town a bit?
Unless we have something else we want to do in town, Adriel is keen to get back to Waterdeep.
We still need to report in.
We have to do that. I have a weapon to pick up. And from there we can start doing other things, because that's where we're going to get the best intelligence as to what's actually going on.
Here's a question: would this city be a good place to possibly get an enchantment upgrade on a arcane focus, like a +1?
It wouldn't be bad, but you're about to go to Waterdeep.
That's even better. I wasn't sure because of awesome giant archmage tower in here, so I wasn't sure if this was well known as a magic place.
No, not really. Everland. The fact that there's a Harper stronghold here is largely incidental to the fact that to the town itself.
Okay.
It's not a big magic outside of here.
Shoot, and what was the information that he wanted us to bring to Lord Naboon?
Oh, that he thinks the giants have something to do with it. Or that he thinks the dragons have something to do with the giants being... with what's been going on with the giants.
Okay, so just basically mixes information with our information.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, no more questions for the Archmage?
Nothing particular comes to mind, no.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if there's a... yeah, I don't know if there's anything with the amount of knowledge we have now. But possibly a request if we can come talk to him again if we have more questions. Because that might happen soon enough.
Do we know why Everland pulled out of the Lord's Alliance?
Excellent question. Let me pull up my notes for it real quick. So Everland pulled out of the Lord's Alliance under the influence of it's a two-pronged thing. The Lord's Alliance kind of fucked recently the Lord's Alliance kind of fucked over one of the nearby cities, the city of Sundabar. They were attacked during a war a little while back, and the Lord's Alliance didn't come to their aid. So Everland, the leaders of Everland were persuaded to vote to vote for separation as kind of a show of support for them.
They Brexited.
Yeah, actually, that's not. Yeah, that's pretty close to it. There is some speculation, however, that a particular group of particular noble families from Waterdeep have had something to do with it. There's some speculation that they may have influenced the vote somehow, or caused it to come up in the first place.
Are these noble families known associates with anybody?
Not openly. I know what you're getting at there, and the answer is no. They are not openly supported by either the Kraken Brotherhood or the Disciples of the Yellow King.
Well, honestly, I was looking more for a common thread between them all, but if they were associated with that, that would have been a bonus.
I mean, Crowan doesn't know. You haven't really been in Everland for very long, exactly, so you don't know for sure.
Okay.
So is he okay with a possible information exchange if we get more info in the future?
Oh, absolutely. He is absolutely okay with that.
Wonderful.
Sure.
No, I was just suggesting it as an option in case I am not loud to you. It's just whenever I hear myself back through you, it's really loud.
I'm fine with it.
Okay.
You don't seem to be that much louder than anybody else.
All right. Anything else?
I guess the question is, does he know where in each of those cities the magic circles are?
Yeah, he would know.
So we know, like, we're not just like wandering around town. Has anyone seen a magic circle around here?
Yeah, he will tell you. I'm not going to list them all off right now because you'll probably forget.
Okay.
But if it comes up in one of the cities, then I will let you know.
Cool. It's better than not saying anything and being like, big cities.
Yeah, I don't think you want to go wandering around Waterdeep looking for a hidden teleportation circle. Ask him if he needs help with anything.
Just trying to make us work more.
Aren't you the one that's always big on getting brownie points with people?
Well, yes, but I assume he might assume this was a payment for what we already get.
I would prefer that you report back to Lord Nabu with what you've discovered. It is, in times such as these, it is important that we all pool our resources and work together. You are well positioned to go speak with Lord Nabu and the Lord's Alliance. Make them understand both what you've discovered and what we, the Harpers, know. So please, go and do so.
Well, gladly, thank you. And hopefully next time we meet, we can all be more enlightened.
I suppose, yes. Now, if you will all please step into the circle, and I will send you all back to Waterdeep.
So the circle's like in the place we met him in the tower?
Yeah, he's standing next to it.
Isn't that kind of inconvenient for him, for all the people coming and going all the time?
There's not that many people coming and going.
And if
Those
they are, they're probably trustworthy.
Yeah. The Harpers are, there's not that many of them, and they tend to work in either alone or in small cells. And even more than that, they tend to be pretty, stationary. They don't move around that much.
Ah,
Well, thanks. I'll go over to the circle.
I will walk into the circle.
All right. Once everybody's in the circle, Valharo begins to chant and perform the requisite gestures to teleport you all. You see him smiling as your vision abruptly shifts from the top of the tower in Everwind to actually to a crypt. The Waterdeep Circle is in a crypt, in a cemetery, in the biggest cemetery in Waterdeep, the City of the Dead.
Damn it.
Quaint.
So the in front of you guys there is a small stone staircase leading up leading upstairs. The room that you're in is...
Hang out in the crypt.
Sorry?
We're going to hang out in the crypt.
I mean, you could. It'd be weird, but you could.
Yeah, so we just enjoy the fact that these aren't moving.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, you head up the stairs. So there is a... you're actually inside a sarcophagus.
What?
Wow.
The stairs end at the underside of a sarcophagus. It's inscribed with the name Myrna. Fortunately, somebody hears... Oh, wait, fuck, I fucked it up. I fucked it up, guys.
Oh no! Oh no! Abort! Abort!
Quit retcon everything. A giant rock falls.
So
we never got on the flying castle. Got it.
Oh, no, not too much retcon. Too much retcon. You're at like retcon 5. I need you to just dial it back to like retcon 3. Do that.
Okay, so just up to the fire giant.
Alright, so we're headed for a party on a boat in Yardar.
All right, so the circle is in a crypt. The room, however, is not just... there is a very pale female mage who is attending the circle here. So the room that you arrive in has a small little study alcove and a cot in it. And there is a pale mage wearing a very large amulet around her neck. Without saying very much, she looks up from her studying and gestures you towards the stairs that are still on the far side. Once at the top, she speaks the name Myrna and touches her amulet. And a shield guardian pulls the lid of the sarcophagus off and allows you all to exit.
Give the mage
What?
a nod and head out.
What do you mean, what?
All that just to open the door for us.
Yes.
It's a fancy door. You can't just, push a button and have it swing open.
It's got a fucking shield guardian for it.
I mean, but randomly casting stuff at people that just got there and maybe slightly disoriented is not a good way to go about your day if you want to keep it going.
They didn't cast anything on you.
Not on us, but you just see some random person casting out of nowhere.
I suppose.
Well, we know that the Harpers are a bunch of wizards anyway, so it's kind of expected. You just have to go with the flow, darling. Things work much easier that way.
When the flow doesn't involve me dead, I'm quite happy to go along with it.
See? Not dead. Come on. Walks up the stairs.
All right. So yeah, you emerge out the stair. You emerge out of the sarcophagus to be in a city of crypts, really. There are. It is. You basically emerge into a field of gravestones. There's a gate at the far end that'll lead you out into the city, and you can head to see, at long last, go to see Lord Naboon. Yeah. There's a small little Harper mark engraved on the sarcophagus.
This is going to be so much easier. Plus, teleportation always tingles. It's fun.
Thanks, dear. Do you know what I've just realized?
What's that, darling?
We left the horses.
And the wagon and all the other stuff.
Hey, remember that time they teleported all that stuff through the teleportation circle after you?
What?
And
And
carry
you totally managed to fit it up the stairs?
Yeah,
It was a good time.
that.
Yeah, it sure was a good time. You sure had a
Man,
time fitting all that stuff together.
that made one hell of a montage, let me tell you what.
We set it to
It's like freeze frame.
We set it to Eye of the Tiger and everything. Actually, I don't have Eye of the Tiger. We'll set it to Fiddles McGinty.
Freeze frame. Freeze frame.
Yeah, that was so awesome. Even one of the horses was in on that high five.
The best high five.
The other druid awakened it. And also, it isn't like we can't immediately, after we talk to Lord Naboon, go back down, pop back over, and get everything.
Basically.
That's a choice of teleportation.
Teleportation. You guys can bring your stuff. I'm not gonna make you just leave it all behind. That would be silly. Stop, Fiddles McGinty. Alright.
We eventually need to get rich enough to have horses in every city and not have to do that anymore.
You could.
Not have what happened. The montage. The montage was great.
No.
That's fair. But you want to have it so you don't have to have the montage. You just have it because you like it.
Fine, the montage music goes back on. Anywho. Who wants to go see your patron?
Me.
All right.
I
So,
actually need to go have him patronize me.
oh yeah, you do need to have him patronize you.
Giggity?
Don't steal my thunder, darling.
All right. So, Lord Naboon's house is much the same as those of you who've been here before. It's much the same as you remember. Right down to Lord Naboon shouting at somebody upstairs. It's still decked out in, I think we said his colors were purple and orange. Yeah, that sounds about right. There's still guards around. Other than that, it's a pretty typical stately home for Waterdeep noble. As you get closer to his office, you can hear him yelling again. This time, instead of for food for the homeless, though, it's something about a thief. Right on time, just as you get there, once again, he throws a poor bastard in a yellow robe out of his door and slams it behind him.
Yep. Still him.
Still him.
The sweet sounds of our most gracious Lord.
The disciple shakes his head. He looks a little bit disoriented. Looks up at you guys. Oh, hi. It's the same guy you met last time here. It's Ildahar. The same guy who also you found on Zephyros' tower.
Well, fancy meeting you again.
Yeah. I wish we could stop meeting where I'm being thrown out of his door.
Have you considered not going into his door?
That would solve the problem.
It would, but it's not really an option. He's the only lord around here who will listen to us, so...
Do you call what just happened listening? Because that would explain a lot.
He let me into his office.
Did he or did his servants?
The other ones have ordered their servants not to let us in.
Also, were his servants giggling the entire time as they led you to his office?
I didn't hear any giggling.
Employed in a noble household, they're probably fairly good at hiding it by now.
I wouldn't know. Never been to a noble household before I joined the Disciples.
I suppose
Well-
better look next time.
I suppose.
As a note, this is not how you want to normally leave a noble's house because it means it didn't go well.
I may not know much, but I do know something about that.
We're going to have to agree to disagree about your usage of that word because you're not showing it right now.
I mean, I know at least enough to know that being thrown out the door is not good.
Well, it also usually means don't come back, but you seem to not be catching that part.
Well, darling, that's not an insult to injury. He just fell down.
I don't understand why he won't help us. You know, first it's the handing out food. Now it's... Do you know what they did? We have been robbed. The disciples have. Somebody came into our temple and robbed us. And they've forbidden the guards from helping us. This is just... What do they have against us?
Different ideologies usually don't mix well.
We certainly can't answer that.
Ideology doesn't like helping people. I don't understand.
Perhaps we'll figure it out eventually.
Could you give us a hand with our thief problem? Is that... You're adventurers, right?
We would have to come in and search for clues if that would be okay.
That's fine. We have nothing to hide.
Hey guys, I think we should totally help them start by searching in the temple for clues.
I'm sure we can do that after we speak to our Lord.
Yes, of course we need to go talk to Lord Naboon first, but I'm just saying, I think these guys need some real help here.
She just smiles at him. He's back.
Make a deception check for him not to notice how sarcastic you're being.
Me or her?
I can aid that.
You.
Aid.
You're rich. Okay, he can't beat that. Oh, that would be wonderful if you could come by and help us.
And so I know who to tell them that I talked to at the gates. Your name is again,
Oh, that's Ildahar, darling.
or sorry, no. I should tell them that we talked to you, and we're here to help them out. Is there anybody we should ask for specifically?
I should be there. Ask for me. I'll show you around.
All right, sounds good. We'll be along to help you after we talk to Lord or at some point soon.
I assume we know where their place is at this point. We've been to Waterdeep.
Oh, he can give you directions. Ildahar will quickly give you directions. Oh, it's just down Water Street and take a right on Deep Avenue. And then eventually you'll get to Yellow Crescent. And that's where we are.
Very well then.
Not actually, but Waterdeep does not have a street grid I can just pull directions off of.
Sure does.
Just go that way, and you'll eventually hit the giant temple-looking thing.
Yeah, basically. Thank you so much for helping us like this. It means so much to me and to the rest of the disciples. Thank you so much. I should probably leave before he opens the door and realizes I'm still here, though.
That's probably for the best. We'll see
Hey,
you later,
you're
darling.
learning.
All right, I will see you soon. He looks very, very excited and smiley. But then he gets up and scurries out the door.
Inks will playfully jab Rich. You are cheeky. I love it.
This is a friend of yours?
Acquaintance.
You're probably familiar enough with the. There's a disciple temple in Luskan. You'd be familiar enough with them to at least recognize his robes. You know, there's not too many other groups that wear bright yellow robes everywhere they go.
We have that nice little handout about it.
Hare Krishnas?
Sorry?
Hare Krishnas?
Yellow, yellow king.
I'm sorry, I still don't understand what you're saying. My hearing.
Oh, the Hare Krishna, those people that always stand in the corner with their tambourines and stuff and sing in robes and whatnot.
In airports.
Oh, I have no idea who those people are. I'm sorry. That just kind of
Pass out pamphlets and stuff.
that kind of just whooped on me. Oh yeah, that sounds like a not inaccurate thing for.
There's a group that always does it downtown, like a couple blocks from me.
All right. So, talk to Lord Naboon now, though.
Yes.
All right. So y'all can head in. Lord Naboon is pacing behind his desk. He's muttering expletives under his breath. Occasionally you catch some mention of Ildahar or Yellow He looks up at you as you come in and says, hello.
A pleasure to see you again, my most gracious lord. And she'll give a bow.
You always did have a silver tongue. Take these, all of you. I would hear what you've been up to. I know it shouldn't take you that long to travel back from Brian Shander, so figure you must have come up with some other something new beyond just what came up there. So do tell. What have you been up to? What have you all found out? He leans forward and stares intently at you all.
I just have to ask real quick, why do you keep letting him in?
Honestly, I drew the short straw.
Sucks to be you.
Thanks frowns at that, but she's trying to not smile.
The other lords and I met and decided that one of us had to meet with the disciples. One of us had to not turn them away. I was the unlucky one. So it falls to me to hear their complaints and deny them and rage as I see fit.
I'm trying to remember, did he mention last time the sort of reasoning why they all hate them?
No, he wouldn't have. Probably not. I don't think he did. But he probably would not have. Would you like to ask him?
Well, it does seem curious.
I thought he mentioned he didn't like people asking for handouts, and that's why he didn't particularly care for them.
Oh, that's one of them. We all have some personal dislike for them. They're all about handouts. They're too nice. They're occasionally pushy about joining.
Ah, yes, those types. That's understandable.
So, we all got together and decided we didn't want to deal with them. Is that out loud, Adriel?
No, she's thinking it though.
No, that's fair.
We just weren't sure whether you had information that we don't know about them, because they seem, well, aside from being pushy, otherwise normal.
Persuade. The Lord's Alliance suspects them of something shady. We can't prove it, though.
Interesting. What would something be?
The details are... they're not clear. And they're unfortunately not something I can exactly share. Lord's Alliance suspects them of being up to something unsavory.
Well,
But they're
handouts and
protecting-
kindness are a good way to hide that, isn't it?
Exactly.
Thanks to give a side look to Rich. Well, if we learn anything, we'll be sure to share it with you.
Much appreciated.
Is there anything in particular? Or, yeah, I guess I would tell them about our plan to go help them out with the thieves.
Don't look.
And ask if there's anything in particular we should be looking for.
Don't bother helping with the thief. It's probably just some low-town beggar that snuck in and wanted some of the food without having to deal with them preaching.
Also all over her food.
Yeah, he can see that. Dearest Adriel, do you honestly think I'd stoop to sending someone myself to deal with these people?
Cocks her head to his side and says, not directly.
No, they're not. I did not send anybody to rob the disciples. They're robbing themselves quite well enough for my taste, giving so much away.
Well, when you're collecting stuff in the name of donations for the poor or lesser, it's kind of hard not to give it all away.
He does have a point. We kept it to be more suspicious. But the question is, where are they getting all the donations?
That I am not sure.
But that's one thing, this is another. I suppose we have a broader story to tell, don't we? Oh, where to start?
So we're starting to run low on time, so don't actually tell them the story.
Oh yeah, no.
The high points of what you would like to tell Lord Naboo. Or rather, what you wouldn't want to tell him if there's anything.
Probably the business in Yartar doesn't need to be talked about.
Yeah.
We passed through and got a boat.
Okay. You're not proud of what you did?
No, I just don't think it matters for him.
That's fair.
I don't think it matters for him.
Yeah.
No, I said that's fair.
Yeah, I think the only thing we'd go into details is anything about giants.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we start getting out. Okay, so we found this fire giant by Tribor, and he was doing this. He had X, Y, Z, blah, 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 blah. We killed him.
Yeah, like he doesn't need to know
And
about
took
the
his
Hydra.
stuff.
That was something unnecessary.
Yeah, we might mention that we took a boat. We had to do a thing to get that level.
Oh yeah, the Hydra could be like, that took some extra time.
We could not negotiate direct passage.
I'm not sure if we should mention Everland, given,
Well, he knows how we got back.
Does he?
Does he?
Well, though, he did, no, I guess our friend did want us to tell him about, his information, so.
Naboo's connected enough. He probably knows about the harbors.
Mm-hmm.
So they're providing this particular assistance to us.
I see. Well, it's good that the Harpers are willing to chip in, pay their dues.
I figured if we dealt with that sort of thing now, it would make things much easier down the line. And so it has, because here we are.
Indeed you are. Indeed you are.
And there you are.
Indeed I am. Now, suppose on to business. As for that, you have a new friend amongst you all. May I ask her name?
Oh, Silica
Feel free to
Violet,
ask.
my lord.
Soliloquy, you say? It's a beautiful name.
Oh, a girl could get jealous, my lord.
He leans briefly towards you in a slight bow. I assume that you have joined with our friends here.
They have allowed me to accompany them since Luskin, my lord.
Oh, Soliloquy and I go way back.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, if she has been useful and trustworthy to you, I see no reason not to extend the same courtesy. Welcome to my home, Soliloquy.
It is a lovely home, my lord.
Thank you. Now, down to business. Your actions at Brian Shander and subsequently have given me a certain degree of maneuverability, political maneuverability. Your success has allowed me some freedom to hire more adventurers that should allow us to more effectively combat the giants across the realm. I believe you probably saw some of my posters on your way south. So for that, I thank you.
Oh, yeah,
As
speaking of
your
posters.
efforts, Lord's Alliance is banded together with all of their money, and there will be bands of adventurers roving, hunting for giants everywhere. Unfortunately, this just fighting their wanderers will not solve this war. And for that, we will need a little bit more work to be done. Special work. Work which I believe you all are extremely qualified to undertake.
Are you calling us special, my lord? I'm flattered.
You are special.
Oh, you know just what to say.
Tell me, all of you, what do you know about the giant lords? As Lord Naboon leans forward in his seat. I believe that is where we will call it for the evening.
Alrighty then.
Nice. I like Lord Naboon. He's fun.
You think so?
He plays along more than some.
That's fair. Yeah, so I will not be around next week. Yeah, I won't be around to play next week. So that's a thing. Any questions, comments, concerns? Flynn, I know I asked you to message me later about the wand and shit. So let me know about that.
Did my sword whip get delivered?
Yes, you will get that at probably some point at the beginning of next session.
Okay.
Lord Naboon will give it to you as soon as you're done your conversation.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I'll try and find some time to write stuff up for the books that you guys requested. If nothing else, I have a pair of very long car rides coming up, so I'll try and write some out then. Otherwise, sometime next week.
Road trip.
All right.
No worries.
Nominations?
Oh, yes, that is a thing.
I think Rich got it last time.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I'd have to go with Syl just for the I'll kill you. What about the stool?
But I mean, think how awesome of a weapon that would be.
A walking stool?
Exactly.
All right.
Nobody would expect that.
Yeah, I need to get back to work. So I will see you all.
Good night.
Cool.
Later.
Later.
Thank
Later,
you.
guys.
Thank
Night.
you.
Problem.
Good night, everybody.
But
Night.